Hi guys, it's Bellza here and welcome back to another Dress to Impress video here on the channel. So in today's video, I actually recreated all these Saja boys and today I will show you guys how I recreated them. But before we get into today's video, do not forget to like and subscribe as well as turning those notification bells on so you do not miss any of my videos. And with that being said, let's get on with the video. So here's the first one I recreated, and in case you were wondering all the items that I was using, these were actually all the items that I used. So as you guys can see, there isn't really a lot of items. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items. So I was using this hairstyle, these 2 belts, and then these pair of jeans, these sneakers, this top, and then this necklace. And then I was using a pair of earrings like you guys can see right here, but for some reason they don't want to pop up over here. But I believe that's pretty much everything I used. And in case you're wondering everything I did for the custom makeup, I will go over to the custom makeup and show you guys everything I did for for that. Oh my goodness, for that. So over here, obviously I used the masculine items or custom makeup things. So for some reason, everything that I used does not want to pop up. But either way, the eyes that I used were these ones right here. And then I believe I used these eyebrows that you guys can see right here. The lips, for all the characters, I used these. And then for the makeup-ish thing, I'm not sure. But for that part, I used this one. And then for like the little custom makeup over here, I used, let's see, this nose, and then I used a little bit of blush, and that is pretty much everything I did for the face. And for the hair, I did use this one like you guys can see, but if y'all can kind of see, I did rotate it a little bit to the left to make it look something like this. And then for the earrings, I had to kind of rescale them, make them a bit smaller, and then move them to only one side, so like that. And that is pretty much how I did the first one. It was pretty easy. This was one of the easiest ones that I've done out of all of them for sure. But now I'm gonna move over to the next one and I'll show you guys how I did them. So like you guys can see, this was a mystery that I recreated after that, and this outfit was definitely a little bit more simple looking because it's honestly so hard to layer all of these outfits. But here are all the items that I used. I used 3 different hairstyles like you guys can see, and this is also the hex code for the hair in case you guys are wondering. And then I used 2 different tops, so I used this one with the turtleneck, but it was cropped, so that's why I used that one as well. And then I used these that are supposed to be the arm warmers because the actual arm warmers did not work on the masculine body, sadly, so that's why I used these ones over here. And this is also the hex code that I used for all the yellow on this outfit. And then I used a little chain over here. I used these jeans and then these sneakers from VIP, which you can find obviously in VIP. I just preferred these ones a lot more than the ones in the free area. And then I used this top where I only used the vest, and then obviously the earrings. And here's also the hex code for all the purple that I used. And now for the custom face. The custom face is exactly the same as the previous character that I did, because honestly I feel like it doesn't really matter what the face looks like since you can not really see his face. The only thing you can see is the lips. And for the hair, I did rotate one of the hairstyles a little bit forward so it looks something like that, like you guys can see. Personally, I think this one turned out pretty good. I feel like I did a lot better with some other ones that you guys are about to see, but I feel like this one still turned out really good and it still looks like the actual character, which was the goal. But let's move on to the next one that I recreated. So the next character I recreated was, of course, the one and only Saja, baby Saja. So this is what the outfit is looking like. I feel like this is definitely one of my favorites. I think this one turned out really good. And here's all the items that I used. So for example, for the hairstyle, I used 3 different hairstyles, and the hex code for the hair is this one right here. And then for the hat, I did use this one from the, I believe, winter update. I'm not quite sure, but I believe it's on the winter update. But I rotated it so the bows and the pom-poms would be at the bottom. And then I also kind of layered that with this hat and then with the bonnet as well, but I had to rescale the bonnet a little bit. But this is what obviously the hat is looking like. I think it looks really good. And then the sneakers, I once again used the VIP ones, and then I used this top because actually you can see that he has like these little like, I don't know, but these like little flares on the actual outfit. So that's why I used that. And I also did a pattern for the actual top, which is this one right here, like you guys can see. And then last but not least, we obviously did the jeans, which was this hex code, by the way, in case you want to do that as well. And then we also used the cardigan, and this is the hex code for that, since the pattern does not work on the cardigan, sadly. But I still feel like this is definitely one of my favorites. I feel like it looks very, very similar to the actual character. I think it looks really, really good. I really like it. And now let's move over to the actual custom face, because I did do this custom face a bit different from the others. So for example, like you guys can see, everything else is the same as the others except for the eyes. And the eyes that I used are, I believe, these ones right here, either these or these, but I don't know, but I did use one of the masculine eyes though, and this is what it looks like. And yeah, I feel like this one turned out really, really good. Like I said, it's definitely one of my favorites, and I do know that baby Saja is definitely a favorite amongst all the obviously K-pop Demon Hunter fans. But either way, let's move on to the next character. So the next one we recreated was the one and only Abby, and this is what the outfit is looking like. These are the pair of jeans, and also items that I used. So these are the pair of jeans that I went for. And then same thing with baby Saja. I did use the winter hat, like the hat from the winter update, and rotated it so the pom-poms and the bow would be at the bottom, or at the back, so you couldn't really see them. And then we also used this right here. And then for the belt, I just used the one with the K on it and made it yellow. And for the top is originally like green bluish in the movie with a bunch of flowers, like colorful flowers, but DTI did not really have a pattern that really matched that, so that's why I just went for this one, which I think looks still great. And I know he does not really have all these like little yellow details on the top, but I still decided to add them because I think it looked really, really cool. And here are all the hairstyles that I used. I used 3 different ones. I used this one that I pretty much used in every outfit or every character. And then we have this one right here, and then this one. And here's also the hex code for the hair, in case you guys are wondering. And the face is pretty much the same as the others, except that I did change the eyes, like you guys can see. But other than that, that is pretty much everything for this one. I feel like this one was definitely one of the hardest ones to recreate, because I honestly had such a hard time finding a great pattern. But either way, I still feel like it turned out really good. And let's move on to the last character, which is romance. So here's the last one, which is romance, and I feel like this one turned out actually really, really good. I thought that obviously recreating him was going to be a lot harder than it actually was, but it turned out being actually pretty easy. And here are everything, like all the items that I used. So for the top, I used this top from VIP. Here is also the hex code, and there are 3 toggles to this, and I used the second one. So like you guys can see, it comes with a lot of toggles, but I used the second one because I thought that one was the one that matched the best. For the hairstyle, I used 3 different hairstyles. I used this one, this one, and then this one, like you guys can see. And here's also the hex code for the hair in case you guys would like to copy that. For the necklace, I did use this one like you guys can see right here, but I had to kind of rotate it a little bit so you actually could not see the black part of it, like the actual like necklace part. So that's why I just used the little like crystal pearl, whatever you want to call it, and then used a gold heart necklace on top of that. And then I used the belt with the K on it, which I made blue, and then same thing with the chain as well. And then for the sneakers, I just used the regular ones from the free area. And same thing right here, the face looks just like the one that I did for Abby. It was pretty easy to do, but please let me know your thoughts on this one. I think this one turned out really good. Like I said, I really thought it was going to be a lot harder to do, but I feel like it still turned out pretty good. Anyways, you guys, that does bring us to the end of today's video. And if you guys enjoyed watching, do not forget to like and subscribe, as well as turning those notification bells on so you do not miss any of my videos. And do not forget to comment below which character was your favorite, and make sure to also comment some other video ideas that you guys would like to see here on the channel. But with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!